my 9/11 story. All right, like at the time I was sleeping in the living room, and then my mom came in from work, right? And then she's on the phone with somebody. I think it was my brother or something. And I could tell like by what she's saying on the phone that it's like some kind of airplane accident, you know? So I thought one of my relatives died in an airplane crash. And I was like, oh crap. But then she goes and turns on the TV, and right away I see what's happening. You know, both towers are smoking, you know? And in 1 second I realized this is a terrorist attack, you know? And then also I'm like, the world is gonna change forever, you know? And so right then and there, I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just started praying, you know? And I was just like, thank you, God, like, thank you for not making me a Muslim. You guys ever been to a Korean barbecue restaurant?
Ooh,
Yeah, you know, it's pretty unique, you know, in that you have to pay to cook your own meat. And if you pay extra, you can wash your own dishes and take out the trash. I was at Mount Baldy this past weekend. It was pretty cool, you know. I learned that it wasn't always called Mount Baldy, though. Back when the mountain was like younger and more hopeful, it was known as Mount Roki. One dude told me that if you scratch your head, that's what makes you bald, you know. I don't think so, because my balls are still hairy as hell. And one of my buddies, a white dude, he's like super duper white though. I think he's like part albino. Yeah, he's so white when he comes to my house, all my plants start growing in his direction. You know, whenever I have sex, I never last as long as I'd like to, you know? I'm always like, come on, penis, hang in there. And it's always just like, nah, screw this. Blech. Why did the oyster share his food? He's shellfish. Yeah, there's a sailor, you know, and he gets hired on the ship, and then they're out at sea for about 6 months. And he's talking to his buddy. He's like, hey, when are we going back into port? You know, I'm getting kind of horny out here. He was like, oh no, we're not going back into port for another 6 months. He's like, oh. He's like, what? He's like, I can't wait that long. He's like, well, have you tried the barrel? He's like, no, what's that? So he takes it to his room. There's a barrel there with a little hole in it. He's like, well, there you go. So he's trying it out, right? He starts fucking the barrel, and it works really well, right? And he's like, wow, that barrel's freaking awesome, you know? He's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna use it every day. He's like, oh, you mean every day but Sunday, right? He's like, oh, you can't use it on Sunday? It's like, well, you can, but Sunday's your day in the barrel, so. What do you call a guy that can make a business suit real fast? Taylor Swift. And I think Pride Month needs a mascot, and I got the perfect one, the flamingo. All right, they got pink feathers, you know, they love to dance, and they're like a non-predatory, peaceful type of bird. Yeah, they only eat like brine shrimp and like algae, you know. Nobody gives a damn about brine shrimp. And you know what a group of flamingos is called? They're not called a flock. No, they're called a flamboyance. Right? How gay is that, you know? Yeah, it's like all the best parts of Pride Month, all wrapped into one animal and shit. And even the name flamingo is flaming O. Right? A flaming O? That's just a burning butthole. And you know, whenever a guy brags about how big his dick is, it's usually the opposite, right? His dick's usually like really small and shit. I was talking to a guy the other day, he was like, oh yeah, man, my dick's so big, I'm hung like a horse. And I was like, psh, yeah, like a seahorse. I think Shaquille's like the happiest man on earth, you know? Yeah, he's always so jolly, and just like, everyone just loves him, right? I think because he's never been bullied before, you know? Yeah, like how are you gonna mess with someone who's so tall that his crotch is in your face, right? It's like, hey Shaq, give me your lunch money. Never mind. And you know that thing going around where if you're a woman and you're alone in the woods, would you rather run into a bear or a strange man? And a lot of women are choosing the bear, right? But I think that's just ignorance of bear knowledge. Because I ran into a bear alone in the woods once. Man, and he fucked the shit out of me. And you know, scientists for the first time this past year documented 2 male humpback whales having sex. Warner Brothers already gonna make a movie about it. Yeah, they're called Humpback Mountain. It's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was gonna blow my brains out, I wouldn't know whether to run away or pull my pants down. And you know, I've had sex with all different types of women, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. In my opinion, Asian women give the best blowjobs. Yeah. If any of you ladies like to prove me wrong, you can meet me in the bathroom after my set. trying with this. You know, comedians will always tell you two things, right? They'll always tell you when they just get booked on a show, and they'll always tell you when they just had sex. That's a bit juvenile, right? Like myself, I haven't been booked on a show in over a month. But I did get laid last week, so whoa. All right, my name's Iwan Ung. I'm out of here. Thank you.
Congratulations on getting laid.